What's up, catch-up lovers? Hey, I'm doing my very first live show in San Diego, September 21st with Mic Drop Comedy. Please come. It's going to be a great laugh. Music. Nick's going to be there. We're going to meet each other. I'm pretty sure there's food. You guys got to come, all right? Promise?
I'm Jaime Fritsch. I need all you dozens of viewers out there, just tell me how you like this, all right? Welcome to the show.
Friends, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when someone says Demi Lovato? Perhaps you're reminded of the time that she harassed a small business for selling guilt-free cookies. Or maybe you fondly remember the time that she complained on social media about not getting the flavor of frozen yogurt that she wanted.
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted. And then I had a hard time the rest of the weekend.
If none of that rings a bell, maybe you remember the time that she serenaded a non-existent alien.
Make me feel like there's nothing left of on the ground, like a skyscraper.
There we go.
Or some of you might remember that time she did that weird laugh with that weird haircut.
Like, I know 4D. I know what 4D.
I also really wanted to make contact with ETs.
Or perhaps you remember the infamous interview where she misunderstood the word dish.
And your favorite dish?
My favorite dish? I like mugs because they're very comfortable in your hand.
Dare I say some of you may even know her for her music. Well, friends, once upon a time, I would remember her for all those reasons too, until the day that I finally watched Camp Rock. And now when I think of Demi, I will think of the big cheesy grin, cute little bangs, and inward turned knees that she has throughout most of this movie. How did I go 35 years not seeing this? I don't think I ever actually saw it. If I do, it wasn't memorable. Maybe I started it and fell asleep. I don't know. But we're gonna watch it together today. So sit back and relax, get ready for a rockin' good time, and let's watch Camp Rock together. After a word from today's lovely sponsor.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Friends, last week I had to take a fun little test called a sleep test. I had to have all kinds of stuff hooked up to me, a thing on my finger, a cannula under my nose. It was a bummer, okay? It was a drag. But the reason my doctor ordered the sleep test is because I do not sleep well and I suffer from horrific symptoms because I don't sleep well. Depression, impaired cognitive function, tinsel scrot. All of this to say that lack of sleep can be detrimental for your health and well-being, and good sleep is good. But the good news is I have a Helix sleep mattress in my spare bedroom, and when I'm really suffering, I literally go in there and my sleep is 100 times better. Why have I still not got a Helix for my master bedroom? I don't know. Probably because my cognitive function makes me not remember to place the order. Helix sleep mattresses are so incredible. This company makes premium custom mattresses to fit you specifically and your needs, and they conveniently ship them right to your door. It comes kind of like shrink wrapped. You pull off the packaging, it inflates into a floof, and they are a game changer. All you have to do is go to the Helix Sleep website and take a quiz and tell it everything about how you sleep and what your preferences are. If you're a hot sleeper, if you like firm, soft, in between, how tall you are, etc. And it will recommend the perfect mattress for you. So we were recommended the Sunset Luxe mattress. I rave about it to everybody. Everybody who comes over and stays at my house is in love with this mattress. My husband is probably the #1 fan. It has like done wonders for his back. 11 out of 10 would recommend the Sunset Luxe by Helix. Helix has a 100-night sleep trial test, so you can test out if you love the mattress. They also include a 10-year warranty on the mattress, as well as financing options and flexible payment plans. So you don't have to put down all the money at once if you don't want to, and you can still get an incredible mattress shipped right to your door. So if you're interested in trying out Helix Sleep and getting a better night's sleep, you can go to helixsleep.com/JamieFrench, which will get you 30% off an Elite or a Luxe mattress. That's insane. Plus you get 2 free pillows, which are also amazing, or you can get 25% off site-wide. So again, that's helixsleep.com/JamieFrench to save 30% on an Elite or a Luxe mattress, or 25% off site-wide. Thank you, Helix, for sponsoring me today and providing me with a delicious, fluffy cloud mattress. And now back to the show. Hey kids, we're back. It's time for Camp Rock. So opening scene of the movie is Demi Lovato. Her character's name is Mitchie. Mitchie. It's a cool name. Mitchie is getting ready for her last day of school while a Demi Lovato song plays in the background.
Try everything
And honestly, this opening scene has all the things that we love about this type of movie. It's quirky, it's collagey, it's gee, what hairstyle am I gonna wear today? How about the exact one I woke up with, E? She tries on outfits like Lizzie McGuire. She even has time to do a full-blown keyboard concert in her room before school, although I don't think she was playing the right chords. I was the picture of death and misery and all that is soulless and wrong when I woke up for school in high school.
You're getting ready to go to lovely school?
Don't record me.
I don't think anything in the world has ever been worse than how I felt physically waking up for school. And yet Mitchie here is just so thrilled that before she leaves her room, she has to smile at it. She smiles at her room. Demi shows her bottom teeth when she smiles. Not a lot of people do that. Demi has a good smile. She has so many teeth. I only have like 7. So she heads down to breakfast with her mommy, and her mommy confronts her with a pamphlet.
Look what I found in the Crisper, a Camp Rock brochure.
The Crisper is a wonderful place for flammable paper. Yeah, so Mitchie, I guess, has been hiding these Camp Rock brochures around the house in hopes that her mom would find them and be like, okay, I'm going to send my daughter to Camp Rock. But alas, Mitchie and her family are poors. Poors.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
The poors are at it again.
But we just can't swing it right now. With Dad expanding the store and my catering business just taking off. Oh, honey, I'm sorry.
The store is expanding and the catering business is taking off? So doesn't that mean more money? Yeah, so her mom owns a catering business and is a very good cook.
Oh, and great cheese omelet, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell that you really liked it by the way you left for school without taking one single bite of it. I don't think I ever found out why movie directors did that. In every teen movie, there's like this wonderful breakfast spread. And the teenager will either eat none of it or take one bite of like a bagel. Gotta run.
Gotta go, Mom.
And I know we've talked about it before. I've probably showed the TikToks of it before, but I still find them hilarious. So then she goes to school where the only exciting things that happen are A, she tells her friend how sad she is that she can't go to Camp Rock, and B, we get to see this extra in a beige skirt walk in the background 3 different times in 3 different directions. 1, 2, 3. She don't know where she's going. Where are the classrooms? I'm here to learn school with my fellow students. So back at home, Mitchie's parents give her some very exciting news, which is that she's going to Camp Rock.
Well, actually, we're going. Connie's catering is going camping. But you get to go to camp at a discounted rate. But you have to help out in the kitchen.
Oh, did you hear that, friends? Mitchie gets to go to Camp Rock so long as she works in the kitchen making bread tangles of pizza and chicken patties on bun. So then we cut immediately to the first day of Camp Rock. This movie moves very quickly in the beginning. So the campers have all arrived at camp.
Boys.
Transform.
I'm a salamander.
And see, this is why I wish so bad that I had gone to a performing arts school or music camp or fat camp. No one at my school did moves like this in the morning. No one at normal public school does that. All we did was sit around in the cafeteria waiting for the bell, asking each other for gum or like drugs.
We're here!
She really said, "We're here!"
Are you excited? A little. Okay, a lot? Yes, major?
So Mitchie looks across the way and sees a fancy blonde girl getting out of a limo. The bush in the background of the shot was not moving at all, so you know that they just blasted this poor kid with a leaf blower. So this girl's name is Tess, and she is like the popular queen bee of the camp. She has a famous mom. She's like the Regina George type of character. But more about her later. Right now we have to focus on Allison Stoner.
That's Tess Tyler, the diva of Camp Rock.
Allison Stoner is a cool gal. She was a child star. You may actually remember me making fun of her a little bit in the Step Up movie review.
I brought you orange juice.
Why in the acid reflux does he need that much orange juice? all in good fun. But she was a child star turned YouTuber slash podcaster. I've actually watched a lot of her videos where she kind of gives all the dirt on like what goes on behind the scenes for child actors. Check out her channel if you want. But anyway, she's in this movie. Her character's name is Caitlin, and Caitlin makes fat beats, dude.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. Check me out. Cool.
Okay, is it just me or is Mitchie standing crazy close to her? Especially for having just met. I feel like she's like, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. First day at camp? Cool. You want to be friends? So the camp director, which is not the same as the owner and founder. The director, I think her name is Dee, she gets on stage with the guys for a good old Camp Rock welcome.
Put your hands up. Hey, everybody.
I feel like that dance move should be just as memed as Debbie Ryan's face from Radio Rebel. It's just as cringe, if not more. It's my opinion. Anyway, so the camp director informs the campers that this year, for the first time ever, Camp Rock is going to have a very special
Celebrity instructor.
I don't want to waste my summer at some camp.
Oh my God! It's Joe Jonas, right? Is it Joe? Or is that Kevin? Yeah, it's Joe. So Joe Jonas plays Shane Gray, who is this big celebrity, and I guess he's like a bad boy. He's getting into trouble a lot. It's not good for his band's image. By the way, his bandmates are his brothers, so it's kind of like the Jonas brothers are playing themselves, but hopefully Kevin is not as stupid as he is in this movie.
Yeah, man, this is where Connect 3 connected.
Why did they flat iron his hair with no heat protectant?
Right now, you're the bad boy to the press, and the label has a problem with that, which means we have a problem with that.
Yeah, Shane is a bad boy, dude, and I guess his uncle is the owner of this camp, of Camp Rock, so he does what most celebrities do in real life when they're naughty, which is become a camp counselor, just like how naughty pop stars go back to regular high school.
So what? I'm a pop star.
Meanwhile, Shane has been dropped off at camp and spotted by all the girlies, so he has to run away and hide in the shrubbery, where he hears Mitchie singing a beautiful ballad. It's the most amazing thing he's ever heard.
This is real. This is me. I'm excited.
But before he can get a good look at who is the owner of the voice, she's gone, and the hunt for the mysterious singer hath begun. It's like kind of like Cinderella. You know, instead of the glass slipper, it's the golden voice. So later on at the Camp Rock opening jam, Mitchie finally meets cool Tess from earlier. You know, the one with the famous mom.
Wow, I love your mom. Of course you do.
And then proceeds to lie to the cool girls and tell them that her mom is like the president of Hot Tunes TV, so that they will think that she's cool too, which they do. And then they invite her to go sit with them, and she leaves poor Caitlin all alone. Very typical. We've seen this in almost every teen flick. It had to be done. So the cool girls immediately invite Mitchie to come live in their cabin, and they notice when they are looking through her duffel bag that she has a song notebook.
You write songs?
And she's like, oh no, no, they're not even good, please. Oh, what? You want me to sing one of them? Okay.
This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Demi Lovato has a really good voice, and it's cool to see that she was that good even at this age. And I just feel like her voice is underrated. Nobody talks about it. Probably because she yells at businesses for selling sugar-free cookies. So the next morning at breakfast, Mitchie sits on top of Caitlin again. Why? Why doesn't she give Caitlin in particular any personal space? Like, there's a whole bench there, Mitchie.
What?
Oh yay, it's time for class again, which means kids are all banging on stuff. Dude, Caitlin is freaking eating. She ate, as the youngsters say. I like the part where she did this. Did you guys know that when I was in high school, this is all I dreamed about in the world? I always wanted my friends from choir to like sing 5-part harmonies with me before class, and nobody would besides this one girl named Tina, who always sounded like she was gonna cry when she would talk, and one time she farted during the national anthem. Speaking of farting, I need to take a break, and when we come back, hip hop. Isn't that what that one lady did? And see you there.
Who wants to sing first? You.
I'm having deja vu. I feel like I'm watching Raise Your Voice all over again. Please, Demi, give us something as good as Hilary Duff gave us on that sacred day. Please. Unfortunately, Demi Lovato did not need a voice double, so there will be no Demi belts it all on her own.
Yes, I believe the future. What will I be?
She's great.
Why didn't anyone clap? That was clearly good. In fact, it was so good that little Miss Tess is lime green jello. She does not like anybody else being talented. So she ends up asking Mitchie after class to sing backup for her, you know, just to make sure Mitchie doesn't like steal her thunder at all. Side note, throughout this whole movie, the campers keep referencing the final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam. Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam. Final jam.
Final jam.
Final jam.
Which I think is like a big contest at the end of the summer. I think there's a winner, I don't know. And a lot of the campers spend like the whole time at camp preparing for the final jam. And the song that Tess and the Mean Girls are working on is so beautiful.
Think you're hot, but I'm sorry you're not exactly who you think you are.
God, I love teen movie music. It never disappoints. You think you're hot, but sorry you're not exactly who you think you are. Those lyrics bring me to tears. Anyway, so Mitchie is now going to be the third backup singer for Tess, but not before running into Shane Gray, the famous Shane Gray, while working in the kitchen with her mom.
Hello?
It's all right, Mitchie. Flour makes everyone's teeth look mother of pearl. So Shane is like super douchey and mean to Mitchie, and she ends up calling him a jerk. And no girl has ever stood up to him before. It's almost as though she's not like other girls. So then, probably my favorite scene in the movie, at least so far, I actually haven't finished writing this movie review yet, but my favorite scene so far is Shane teaching the hip-hop class. I was so thrilled when his uncle in the movie told him that he had to teach this class. Because, I mean, what is better than a bunch of goofy teens in a tween music movie doing hip-hop moves? It better be as good as the Cinderella story. Isn't the Oh, it's a Cinderella story! The one with Selena Gomez that we literally reviewed on this channel. This is almost the exact plot, minus the two-way mirror.
Huh?
If this scene is half as good as the one from Cinderella story with Selena Gomez or that hip-hop meme lady, I will die happy.
Grab a mic and a hat. Follow me if you can.
All right, nice to meet you too, Shane. So without saying any words, 0 words, or giving any direction, Shane just busts out into the sickest hip-hop moves you will ever see.
Hey.
It's just everything I could have hoped for. So the students go from being completely lost and confused to perfectly knowing the choreography in about 2.5 seconds. Like, I'm not just talking dance move choreography, I'm talking they change formations and everything. They just killed it, you know? Fast learners. Until, of course, this 36-year-old dude bites the dust. And what's that, friends? Shane is nice to him?
You're a drummer, dude. The drummer controls the beat.
He's nice to the hot drummer? Oh, you guys don't know this story. I used to be friends with this guy who was a drummer, and he wanted his AOL screen name to be Hot Drummer, but he only used one M. So me and my other friends would harass him all the time for being a hot drummer. So that's what I think of anytime there's a drummer in any movie. Hot drummer. You're welcome for that story. So like I said, Shane is actually nice to the hot drummer. So we're starting to see that maybe there's a little more to him than just beautifully groomed eyebrows and unbelievable dance moves. So one day, Shane is sitting by himself in a top secret spot by the water when Mitchie shows up, because that's also her top secret spot by the water that nobody knows about because it's top secret.
Can a guy get some peace?
She goes there to play the guitar, gaze at the turd pond, and think about frozen yogurt.
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted.
Anyway, she overhears Shane playing.
Was that you playing? It sounded kind of different.
Cool, so now he knows that you're an obsessive fan who has memorized how the tone of his guitar normally sounds. Good work.
I only played the music that the label thinks will sell.
Yeah, see you guys, it's the label's dream. It's not his dream. I don't want your laugh.
I don't want your life.
So then he ends up playing her a song that he's working on.
That far, you're the voice I hear inside.
I'm sorry, where did the backup singers' voices come from? Because now I don't believe that this was actually a live performance. God, there is so much eye contact from Joe Jonas in this scene. He never looks away, ever.
I heard this girl singing, and it kind of reminded me of the music that I like.
Oh my god, you guys, he's talking about Mitchie from earlier? Remember from earlier?
You seem different.
Yeah, bro, since I met you 17 seconds ago, dude, you seem different. Anyway, they flirt, and it's cringe. But the point is that we see their relationship blossoming. Later on, there is a plain, dry noodle fight for which Caitlin gets in big trouble. She gets blamed for everything, and her punishment is kitchen duty.
Kitchen duty.
Which means she's gonna work in the kitchen where Mitchie secretly works, but Mitchie doesn't want anyone to know. It's a big secret because it's uncool, so she attempts to hide her face with this big old bag of corn chips, but then trips on a soap bucket. I want to put that one in the female protagonist fall compilation, but I feel like the fall was too slow. It'll throw off the timing. Anyway, so her cover is blown, and Caitlin was like surprisingly mean about it. I thought Caitlin was gonna be like the nice one, you know? I totally thought she was gonna be like, hey, that's all right. I totally knew you were a cook's daughter. You always smell like corn chips. Don't sweat it. I'm actually the janitor's daughter. His name's Phil. Check out this sick beat. You know what I mean? Something like that.
She's really good.
Can't argue with that, although I could have done better. Anyway, Mitchie and Caitlin's falling out is immediately remedied. They end up making up during a quirky little balloon fight. Why did this scene feel so awky? I feel like we need background music or something instead of just the sound of the deflating balloons farting. Anyway, they go from being enemies to besties. They bond, okay? Because nothing says friendship like the gentle tap of a breath-filled balloon. And yes, balloons are full of breath. So friends, things are getting really exciting as the final jam approaches. Shane Gray is still on the hunt for the girl with the voice, mind you. So he goes up to Hot Droomer and he's like, hey man, I need a favor. So then the message gets spread to all of Camp Rock by one kid after another whispering it into each other's ears like a game of telephone. How many words could that girl have possibly fit into that 1 second long whisper? I was really hoping that like someone would get the message wrong, you know, like in a real game of telephone. Why even whisper? Why whisper in their ears? Why not just walk up and say it kind of quiet? Anyway, so now everybody at camp knows that Shane Gray is looking for the girl with the golden voice, and in true Cinderella fashion, all the girls at camp come forward in hopes to try to convince him that they are the rightful owners of the voice. And OMG, it's incredible.
The dreams you have become real. Show me how you feel.
On that note, we need a break. Our ears need a break. And when we come back, the big final jam. Let go. Hey guys, we're back. So one day, meanie Tess finds out Mitchie's horrifying secret. You know, the one where her mom is in fact not the president of Hot Tunes TV China, but rather just a cook. I love that they had Mitchie call her mom multiple times during this conversation.
Seriously, Mom. I love you, Mom.
Just in case Tess had any doubt that Mitchie's mom is a camp cook. So you guessed it, Tess is on her way to spill the beans. She ends up calling Mitchie out in front of everybody at the beach jam.
Hey, Mitchie, tell us about your mom again.
So Mitchie comes clean to everyone about how her mom is just a measly cook.
Your mom cooks our food and you help her. That's the only way you could afford this camp, right?
Right, because they're a couple of poors.
You're a real jerk.
I feel like that's the 19th time I've heard the word jerk in this movie.
Jerk. You're a real jerk. But at least I'm not a big fat liar.
Am I crazy or did I notice an emphasis on the word fat?
Big fat liar.
No wonder Demi Lovato got mad about sugar-free cookies or whatever it was. People call her fat. Anyway, so everybody knows her secret now, even Shane.
You were lying all summer.
All 3 times we spoke to each other, I had no idea. I had no idea your mom was just a cook. What's next, huh? Glasses and a ponytail? So he goes to his uncle and he's like, I can't believe this, bro. The first girl I ever loved ended up being the daughter of a cook. And to top it off, I can't find the girl with the golden voice, dude.
I have her song stuck in my head. Let the light.
My eyes are burning. They're burning from the cringe. This is like as bad as that No Lonely Hearts, oh hey, we didn't see their sketch. I love how Shane has been hanging out with Mitchie all summer and never once considered that it might be her that had the glass slipper. I mean the golden voice. Even after hearing all the other girls prove that they weren't her.
Mitchie, you are so never going to see Final Jam.
Why did she say that to her bracelet? Mitchie's not inside your bracelet, Tess. Okay, trust me, because she's too busy sitting on top of Caitlin again. There was a whole empty side of the table that I thought for sure she was gonna sit at. Why'd they leave the empty side? Anyway, it's time for the final jam. Kids are prepping. They're dancing. Drummers are drumming. Mitchie's wearing some weird green galoshes or something. Tess is sabotaging.
Tess thinks that Mitchie and Caitlin stole her charm bracelet.
What?
Yeah, so Tess plants her charm bracelet betwixt Mitchie's books. She frames her, which explains, I guess, why she was talking to her bracelet earlier. And as a result, Mitchie and Caitlin both get banned from Final Jam. They go lament about it on the pier. You can tell they're lamenting because Mitchie walks from Caitlin's left side to her right side 6 times in a row. But then Mitchie comes up with a plan, a smiley plan.
Stop smiling at me! What? Come on, let's go!
It is time for the final jam. So before the final jam officially starts, Tess ends up losing her backup dancers, our backup singers, I mean.
Your lip gloss is so not glossy anymore.
Dang! Burn, dude. Tess is a meanie. And they're sick of it. So anyway, the final jam begins. So the first group to perform is this big group of kids, including Ella, who as far as I was concerned was only rehearsing with Tess the whole summer. I don't know how she had also time to learn this entire performance. And then it's Tess's turn and she goes up and does a sick full-length mirror optical illusion thing. It was actually kind of cool until this one dancer like accidentally bumped his mirror and lost her reflection. And the director chose to leave it in. Maybe it was supposed to be there. I don't know. It was a little unclear. It seemed like a goof to me. Anyway, her famous mom is in the audience. She made it, which is significant because I forgot to tell you guys that throughout this whole movie, there's this little side plot for Tess, this very strong mommy wasn't there theme. Every time she tried to call and talk to her mom was too busy. You get it. Tess's mommy wasn't there to take her to the fair, to change her underwear. It seems she doesn't care. Which is obviously why Tess is a bully who talks to bracelets. Her mom is too busy for her. In fact, she is so busy and so famous that she straight up takes a phone call during her daughter's big performance, which causes Tess to trip, sort of. I watched this like 9 times. I don't get the trip. Like if you slow it down in the editing software, frame by frame, it just looks more like a little one-legged hop. Also, please tell me that this is a crew member in the mirror. Camera guy. Anyway, her performance is ruined. She does an awkward high heel run off stage and then cries in the corner, kind of. That's right, Tess. You wipe that air off your face. So then Peggy comes up, whose name is actually Margaret, I guess?
Margaret Dupree!
Who's Margaret? I am.
Is Peggy short for Margaret? I thought Peggy was short for Pegathy. I'm Googling it. Peggy is a female first name derived from Maggie, a diminutive version of the name Margaret. Oh, I never knew. I prefer Pegasus. Peggy/Margaret does a very emotional performance of a song called Here I Am, and you can tell they made it real emotional by overlaying slow motion flashback clips of Tess bullying her. It cracked me up that they edited it that way because I do that, like to convey an emotional memory, but it's like to be hilarious, but they were being serious. Anyway, the crowd goes absolutely wild and she doesn't even like smile or say thank you or take a bow. She just walks off.
Peggy, you were really good. I didn't know you were that good. And when someone's that good, someone should tell them.
Okay, it is official for me now. Between that line and the overuse of the word jerk, I think whomever wrote this script had a limited vocabulary. When someone is really good, someone should tell them. It's giving, you can tell an aspen because of the way it is.
You can tell that it's an aspen tree because of the way it is.
Well, guys, it's officially the end
of Final Jam.
But if you remember correctly, Mitchie and Caitlin were banned from all camp activities until the end of Final Jam, which means that they get to perform also.
It's the end of Final Jam.
I was so hoping you'd catch on.
That was the clever plot twist that Mitchie was just cheesing over. The plot twist was that they would still perform even though they weren't allowed to perform.
I've always been the kind of girl that hid my face.
Oh, look, guys, look how shy and quirky and coy and demure. I was dying inside over how long she stood with her back to the audience. It reminds me of like when me and my sister were kids and we would ask my grandpa to videotape us dancing and we would spend half of it like... Know what I mean? And he'd be holding the camera like, oh, this is really riveting. Filming your backs. Anyway, Mitchie turns around finally to reveal the golden voice. Oh my god, the inward turned knees. I always see Yasmin Saeed making fun of this on Instagram, who, by the way, I think is like the best comedian of her generation. Anyway, she always makes fun of this move, and now I'm finally seeing it.
This is real. This is me.
I cannot believe how badly Mitchie wanted us to know that this was her throughout this whole movie.
This is me. This is me. This is me.
Anyway, Shane suddenly hears the golden voice, and he turns and realizes...
That's the song. So that must be the girl.
So instead of just like watching her and admiring her, he just straight up decides to hijack her performance and starts singing along. Somehow he knows not only the entire song, but the entire male harmony part. All I could think watching this performance was how close the mics were. I feel like it would just sound like feedback and like mics bashing into each other. So then Peggy wins, but Mitchie feels like she really won.
I won the best summer of my life.
Because Shane also forgave her, I guess. I guess when he found out she had the golden voice, he didn't care that she lied about her identity all summer. Everybody wins. Shane has found the love of his life. All the kids perform together. Mitchie and Shane somehow have another perfectly rehearsed part together for an entirely different song. Everything is wonderful. The performance is wonderful, and none for Gretchen Wieners. Bye. Tess is Gretchen Wieners in this scenario, by the way. I'm just kidding. Tess also like ends up being nice to everybody, like kind of her version of apologizing. In fact, I fast forward to 3 months later in Caitlin's garage recording studio.
Whoa. Wow. Whoa. Man. Awesome. Whoa.
Are you guys excited at all? I can't tell. Did they use that whoa audio twice?
Whoa. Whoa.
Anyway, they all sing a song together. That is the end. Wait a minute. Where's that scene I was waiting for that I never saw? You know, where Mitchie's walking down the hill like... How could I look that up? What would I even type in? Camp Rock, Mitchie, marching? Is that what you would call it? Here it is. Okay, this is from the sequel. Dang it! I waited this whole movie to see that part. Well, kids, it was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. But not the worst movie I've ever seen, you know? I feel like after seeing Teen Star Academy, most of these little tween music flicks, honestly just look like Oscar winners. Also, I think part of the reason that this wasn't pure trash to me, even though it was bad, it's not pure trash because a lot of the kids that they chose to perform were actually talented. Like, nobody can deny Demi Lovato's talent, especially like for being that young. She's super good. I can handle a little cheese if there's good musical numbers. It's certainly better than the stuff on Instagram today.
Hey there, Delilah, don't you worry about the distance. I'm right there if you.
Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you again, Helix Sleep, for sponsoring me today. Please come to my show in San Diego with Mic Drop Comedy if you live in the area. And check out my awesome merch/clothing brand. And lastly, friends, always remember that if someone is really good, someone should tell them. And also, you're a great dad, even if you are scared of birds and raccoons. Okay, love you, bye! Allison Stoner is a cool guy. She was a cool guy. What?